is Manu Joseph. He's leftist liberal, yes. Nice to be here.
So you don't read journalism too?
No, I don't need anything. What is this? I don't believe in reading because you are made to pay money and then you're given an activity which could last anywhere between 2 days to 200 years. So I'm not up for that. I'll wait for the movie to get made. And then I'll critique both the movie and the book and I'll say everything was shit. That's me. Hello. Nice to see fucking this full house. That's why they probably put velvet on this sofa.
Yeah, what's with the velvet thing? Is it a new Bombay trend?
It's a new thing.
I feel I'm sitting on Ram Rahim's underwear.
Yeah, like you are. It's good,
I've
very well
been on velvet.
This is from Ram Rahim's Gufa. Nice. This is the equivalent of my mother removing dry fruits during Diwali. Like something's happening today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a bunch of questions for you.
Okay.
And the sound's already fucking up. Which is good. Give it up for the Cuckoo Club. They are very good at what they do. Mostly on weekends, they are much better. Just letting you know. So nice. My first question to you is, what made you from a journalist to like a writer which writes fiction and satire? Why that jump? You were a journalist for really long.
I think many of us start off with poetry which rhymes.
Right.
And then some moralistic short stories, invariably. And then life hits you, and then you do other things.
Right.
I knew only two professions, which I thought were professions. I could have one was IAS. My mother she was from a village in Kerala, so IAS was big deal.
Right.
And she didn't want me to be a journalist because my father was a journalist. So she knew that it's a loser profession.
Right.
But because my father was a journalist, I thought I should be a journalist. Then when I was 19, I met other journalists, and then I was convinced that it is a very sad profession because I had a very different impression of it. But then by then it was too late. I was not interested in anything else.
Right.
And I did go to Indian Express for a job, and they said they won't pay me. And then there was this interview from Magna Publications. Do you know they bring out Stardust? So there was this interview ad, and I just responded to that. I just went, and there were 100 people waiting outside, and one Catholic woman was interviewing everybody. I thought I didn't have a chance because everybody else looked very old, and I was 20. But she had only one question for me. Do you believe in God? I said, no. She gave me the job because she was searching as a Catholic. The thing with Catholics you should know is that if they're believers, they search for the lost sheep. And once they find the lost sheep, so I was her lost sheep. So that's how I entered journalism, and they were willing to pay me 1,500 rupees. So I thought, okay, fine, I'll be with them. So my first job was with the Society magazine. I've written for Savvy, where a lot of strange women would come to the office and then give me their sob story. I would never understand why they are giving me the sob story.
Right.
Then they say, your cover, we want to be on Savvy's cover because we qualify. Because Savvy at that point had a particular kind of a cover story, which...
Mostly sad stories.
Chiefly, but in the end it gets better.
It's very unique. I've never seen a story that gets better in the end. Like such a unique
you should read the I Believe series of Savvy. It always, you'll be wondering where is it going, and then towards the end there is triumph.
It's quite cool how you got a job for being an atheist.
Isn't it very ironic? Because that was, and I was very honest also those days.
Yeah, but...
So people would just ask me something and I would just...
Honestly tell
I
them.
would just, blurt out something which was not very safe sometimes.
Right, and you still do that, I believe.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah, you recently said that IITs and IIMs are like Lashkar-e-Toiba.
No, I didn't say that.
Something you said.
No, what happened was the Patriots, one of our Patriots told the United Nations that look at India while we have institutes of excellence, which is only towards IIT. Look at Pakistan, they have LET. So I said, only when you compare with LET is IIT and IIM Institute of Excellence.
Oh, like that. You just found a loophole in that argument.
It's hard enough.
Well done, actually.
Actually, Sushma Swaraj did not realize,
Yeah.
perhaps it was a compliment to Nehru.
Yeah.
They keep forgetting that.
Yeah, they didn't do anything from the ground up. Yeah, they keep forgetting everything. That's true. Human rights, all of that, yeah. Once oh, these guys are humans, oh yeah. Quite.
But that's, it's step by step. You ban cow slaughter first, then
Right.
you can ban human slaughter.
Yeah.
So you should be sympathetic to how
Yeah.
they're going.
I agree.
So
I agree. I'm not a fan of any slaughter, by the way. So, I don't know. It's not ideal. But between cows and humans, if I have to make a choice, I don't know, I'll go for humans maybe. Maybe, there's a maybe there. But let's talk about IIT and IIMs. I'm not a big fan of IIT myself though.
Okay.
Because I get abused a lot by people who are not in India. Right? Like, you bastard, you said the truth or something like that. And then when I go to their profile, I see they're in San Francisco and they've studied in an IIT.
Yeah.
So that means they studied on state subsidy. Now they're inside some American asshole.
Yeah.
And now they're giving me guidance about how to love India.
Yeah.
Which is very weird because if I was in San Francisco, I'd love India.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful country from far away.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's ideal.
Yeah.
It's diverse and all.
Yeah.
But when you're here,
Yeah.
things are a little different.
Yeah.
Little different.
Yeah. True. I know this generation you're talking about.
Yeah.
I used to grow up with them so I recall the way I remember those guys. There is a moment when you're a boy, you realize that you've been diagnosed with a penis.
Yeah.
That means you're supposed to take some objective type entrance exams.
Yeah,
That's your fate. And then later on, everybody fought for equality and they asked women also, you also write your objective type entrance exam and be lost in life.
Nice.
So I grew up with those guys, and at that time they had no interest in India. They just wanted to fly out.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the Quit India movement that we all knew. Then many years later, Kiran Rao apparently says, apparently she said, I want to leave the country.
Yeah.
And these guys who left the country,
They're upset.
who are in the United States, they were upset. The irony didn't even strike them.
Yeah.
I even tried to point out. But it doesn't strike them because they feel that they are coming back at some point.
Yeah. I get a lot of these people also, who get into arguments with me about the current governance. And they have, they are sitting somewhere in the world, okay? And then they have arguments like, पर आज हम चीन को जवाब दे सकते हैं. I was like, लवड़े तू अमेरिका में, कितनी दूर है यार चाइना और इंडिया से, तू शांति रखना.
Yeah.
But they never get it, in some other time zone only. They're not even, when it's day or it's night there. They know nothing about what's going on. But they have a great point of view. And they feel really patriotic from far away. And they all have watched Swadesh.
Yeah.
Nobody came back.
Yeah.
Nobody was like,
Yeah.
I saw this movie, my heart is touched, I want to go light a bulb somewhere in the village.
Yeah.
No, fuck all of that.
That was a very strange movie because the climax was hydroelectric power.
Yeah. Which most of the people who... That's true. Climax was hydroelectric.
And everybody is surprised it didn't do well. Well, obviously, you look at your climax.
Yeah. Fucking ridiculous climax. According to my Google searches of Manu Joseph, the highlight of your journalism career, I'm sure you've done much more than what Google showed, but highlight of your...
I hope there were no nude pictures.
Nothing. I went on images. There were pictures of you young. There were no pictures of you naked.
Okay.
I went till the 9th page. Still no naked pictures.
Excellent.
You've done well. You've had a controversy-free life.
I'm so relieved, yeah.
Yeah, but there was one thing that kept coming up, which was the Radia tapes.
Okay.
That you leaked out and Barkha Dutt was kind of really upset with you.
A bit.
A bit. And then you kind of... So here's a few friends of mine when they kind of tell... The great writer Manu Joseph, I'm so happy you're meeting him when this event went live. And they said, but I'll never buy his book. And I was like, why? If you really like him. He's like, no, I like him, but I don't like his opinions.
Okay.
And I was like, but what are those opinions that have taken business away? Are they that
The business, yeah.
Are they that heavy?
Yeah.
That you're just my opinion about this is Opinion could be anything. Like I like Maggie, I don't like Maggie.
Yeah.
I like BJP, I don't like BJP. Like it could be anything.
Yeah.
But why is your opinion so strong? And what is this opinion that kind of selling less?
So,
books?
wait, are your friends male feminists or something like that? I kind of sometimes I make fun of some kind of good people. They're very good people, they're very noble people. In fact, I've dedicated a whole chapter in my book on how male feminists have sex.
Yeah.
So I try to visualize.
I've also heard this. They get a release form sign or something like that.
Not at all. That's not feminist. I think they are engineers. So no, a male feminist, because obviously he doesn't objectify women.
Yeah.
So he gets turned on when he sees her reading a book.
Oh.
And that's when the whole foreplay begins, and they start cracking a very complex humanities joke which nobody else understands, which is a sign of intelligence, which nobody understands your joke. And then it goes on like that. I can't bring myself to pant and do stuff like that. But I wish there was some good theatre person who does it. In fact, there's a prankster called Akhila Iyer, who's the one who goes to prank this very serious, good person, a Delhi intellectual with a moral compass.
Right.
Actually, all of them are.
Yeah.
So he is a political economist, and he actually even knows what it means. And you can see him on NDTV.
Yeah.
Saying all the right things.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's an empathy uncle, right?
Yeah.
So she goes to prank him.
Yeah.
Because he's also, obviously, it's understood that he's, obviously a person like this will also be a feminist.
Yeah.
Without being in a woman's body, is a feminist.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of,
There.
they can say it and it's...
Yeah.
So she goes and she asks the uncle many questions which really upset him. And then she plays out how he must be having sex with his wife.
Wow.
And so he's so upset that towards the end she says, I can't follow your dialect.
Oh my God. So male feminists.
So maybe when I say these things, maybe some people
get upset.
Feel that maybe we shouldn't
buy his book.
Yeah.
That's weird though.
That's better than other professions. Like, for example, Sony can't do anything on North Korea.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of, to me, worse.
Yeah.
You can't make $200 million because you can't touch a subject. But here's some... But actually, they all very secretively buy the book also. They tell other people that, they are not supposed to
buy the book.
Very overtly buy the book.
Right.
But they do covertly buy the book, or they borrow the book. I don't know what they do. They seem to have read the book.
They read the book one way or the other.
Yeah.
They probably buy it off a signal, so that's a rip-off and you don't get any money.
I don't think I'm pirated yet. Because...
only bad authors are pirated, I think.
Not really, yeah.
Like Chetan and all, like.
Yeah. Between Chetan Bhagat and I think we'll sell 1,010,000 copies.
I think you should just write a book critiquing Chetan. Like,
the Chetan Bhagat was very interesting. Now, every time Chetan Bhagat is coming out of the book, and people talk about Chetan Bhagat, you would get the feeling this country is filled with some great writers. That Indian so-called literary fiction is filled with astounding writers that they're all making fun of him. I think... well, I'm sorry to say, it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. He's just the butt of every joke because...
Yeah, it has become that, I think. Yeah, because...
But you're saying there are many Chetan level writers in India.
There is a Chetan in all of us.
There is a Chetan. Yeah. Sums up everything. There is a Chetan in all of us. I see myself judging a dance reality show for money. Then it's like totally going downhill. Like just the year Big Boss and Dance India Dance both call. And I'll be like, fuck it, dance.
Actually, I've always wondered, how do you judge a dance?
Expression.
On what basis do they judge a dance? It's like, do you dance?
No. I just judge dancers all the time. I never dance.
Sometimes, do you think dancing is some kind of a plot against normal men? I get the feeling. A regular guy who's a normal person is like... And then suddenly someone... when I was in Chennai, the guy who would dance a lot is the guy who always used to dance alone.
Yeah.
Because that's why he's dancing.
That's why he's dancing.
It's a mating call. I would tell those nice guys, he's
guy.
trying to mate with you.
Yeah.
Can't you see? It's like, no, it's companionship and it's thinking.
nothing.
And then some idiot will play slow music and everybody will part ways.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know why. I never used to understand this Western culture when
yeah.
I was growing up. Now I think I'm slightly
You're
better.
getting
But I
it.
still don't understand this dance. Why is it so important for men to dance?
I've never got it.
It's so beautiful when women dance. Why can't we just sit and watch?
I totally am on board with it.
But we are discriminated against.
If you just sit
The
and
men,
watch.
see, why are most women unhappy in marriages? They marry the guy who danced.
Yeah.
Just wait. You could have mailed me, or you could have just asked me, what's your name? Why are you standing like a moron in the corner? I mean, like, we could have had a conversation. I just I'm writing a short story, and I could have... But there is no chance. You have to go and dance.
If a girl would have asked you why you're standing in the corner like a moron, you would have convinced her the dancer is the moron. Like, just don't marry that guy. Like, I believe, I don't know, but dance reality shows are a whole different ballgame actually. Dance reality shows, there are men, there is that couple dance reality shows, and then there's just sad story dance reality shows. Like where everybody who's dancing also has like one body part less. Like that's their, yeah.
That's like some kind of equal rights thing,
Like,
or you're being funny?
No, I'm not being funny. There's just always like somebody with like one hand, one leg, like, and the jig is up,
That's
right?
like the Taliban guys.
Yeah, like somewhat like that, yeah. But it's weird because so I saw this dance reality show. I followed it. There was a girl with there was everybody who was like able-bodied, and there was one girl with one less leg, right? And she was dancing, and the first time she danced, everybody cried, this and that. The second time she danced, the number of people crying went low because the jig was up. Like, everybody got used to...
You're serious, actually?
Yeah,
they actually didn't have...
Yeah, the crying, till the third episode, there was nobody crying.
Okay.
And the fourth episode, she got eliminated. So, I mean, I'm just like, I don't know, this is obnoxious. Like, why would you do that to someone? And then that video goes on YouTube and somebody comments saying, fuck you, you didn't dance well. So after all of that, she has to also go through that. Which is kind of fucked up on the part of the dance reality show, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of also upsets me that people with one leg can dance and kind of, So
make it to the
I don't
fourth
like
episode.
It, I want to defame dancing. That's one of my objectives in life. One, I want to defame dancing so badly that after 50 years or so, men are not expected to dance.
Yeah.
It's like smoking is not cool anymore.
Dancing will not.
And second thing is, there's a particular kind of people, you are not dancing, you're sitting on a kind of a velvet chair or whatever, and they will drag you.
They'll drag you.
They have to be put in prison. Already the world is, okay, I'm accepting, okay, I'm going to miss out on all the fun and I'm just... But then you drag me, okay? And then there's another kind of people, they drag you and then okay, fine, it's all right, you dance. And then they ask you to go and sit because they're so disgusted with you. That's judgmental, and people think I'm opinionated. There are kinds of people in this world who are far worse than me, which is the point I try to make and I'm unable to.
You're pretty much making it. You made your point. No dude here is ever going to dance. If they see their father dancing, they'll push him like, fuck off. Fuck are you dancing? Manu Joseph said no dancing. That's it. This blanket. I think there should be a law for people who
it's the fathers who are dancing.
Fathers are dancing.
Now suddenly
fathers are dancing.
Because they get appreciation in the first 5 seconds, which is just people being polite. But they get carried away. And the men seem to get carried away. They think, they're doing something great. And it's the same reason why when I came to Bombay, about 23 years ago, I was most shocked by Antakshari. I don't know I'm sure the concept was there, but I had never heard that before.
Right.
Where people sit and then they drink a bit and they lick pickles and all that. And then you obviously know what Antakshari is, but I was very amazed that, this last syllable from that, you have to start a song, which is bad in itself as a concept. But then, there would be this guy in the office who's an unknown guy. Nobody even knows he exists. Like chair table, this guy type is kind of... But in Antakshari,
He kills it.
he becomes this glorious exotic bird. And he knows it. And it goes on like
Then
this.
after that, he has an affair in the office because of his Antakshari skills.
Which is
Some
where
accountant
they
fucks
go
him.
wrong, and most women are unhappy. We have already
Because-
covered the subject.
Yes. We have. But yeah, I can't get over dancing. I'm just like, this is just. And now there's a dancing festival where like Varun Dhawan is going to come and do hip hop. And we're like, here, see my privileges. My dad's rich. I can dance whenever.
Varun Dhawan, right?
Yeah.
I've in fact, I didn't know who he was when I was
Yeah.
asked to interview him for the Times of India
Yeah.
Literature Festival.
Right.
And what happened?
Is it a big deal? I don't see a big deal in this, by the way. Like, it's totally fine to not know Varun Dhawan. He's just someone's son. Like, that's what he is.
Yeah, we all are. But when I realized, then I saw that there was a whole long line
Yeah.
outside the venue.
Yeah.
Then I kind of checked, it's like if maybe I won an award or something.
Yeah.
Suddenly, some foreigners, white people, they give you an award, you become famous in India.
Yeah.
So but then someone told me, no, it's obviously for Varun Dhawan.
Yeah.
Then I checked, who's this guy? Because that line was 100 meters long.
Yeah.
And all of them wanted to see him, and it was quite a disaster.
How was the interview? Was he?
Actually, there was an added complication to it. Maybe they had an extra man who was the Twitter's head of in India chief. So I don't know how they got the idea that I must interview Varun Dhawan with Twitter's India chief.
Both of them
So
together.
the Twitter India chief and I sat in the council like, okay, let's try to understand the concept. Why are we doing it? What's the connection between... So we couldn't arrive. But then it went off really well. We made the conversation about how Varun uses Twitter. and every time Varun will talk about that, Twitter India chief will talk about how Twitter is doing good and how a calamity, we tweet, hospitals, and then I'll ask Varun, okay, how do you lie on Twitter? Do you lie on Twitter? And he would give me some strange answers.
Yeah.
But nobody was interested in question answer. They were just interested in taking photographs of him. And he took a selfie on the spot. And he tweeted it, and everybody seemed to like it. Maybe I was just the wrong person to...
I've been there many times.
Yeah.
But I was the wrong person.
Oh.
Like, every time, I've just been the wrong person at the wrong place. Like, so as a comedian, you have to kind of do shows for like corporations, right? Like, that's where the money is. Like, they'll call you, like, come to my fucking office and do a show. But you don't know what the office is, what the people are like. Do they really find things funny, or do they... So one corporate show I did before me, there was Launi going on, which is Marathi folk dance, which is nothing wrong with it. But the song was about a girl saying, it's 12 o'clock, I want to go home. And the guy saying, fuck you, you can't. And the girl is dancing, and the guy is saying, no, you can't. The girl is dancing, the guy is saying, no, you can't. After like 25 minutes, this scenario ends. And 10 people from the crowd shout once more. So, after that, the organizer is like, fuck you, no once more. Now we have a comedian who's also a satirist. I don't know why they gave me that title, because I'm not interested in anything but just jokes, like whatever is funny. And then I go on, and then I just see 95 seconds, it's not working, people are not listening, they want the Launi girl back. And I say that my mic's not working properly, while it's totally working. I'll just get this checked, guys, I'll just get this checked, and then I go sit in the rickshaw. And then I fuck off home. And I don't go back, and my phone's off. Like that's... Yeah, but when I get caught
do
in
they pay you 50% up front and then 50%?
No, they pay 100% upfront.
Okay.
I'm ready to give that 100% back with 10% more if they give it to me in writing. They will never call a comedian and a Launi dancer together ever. So, like, just
So it's a Marathi song, so 12 o'clock is a 12 o'clock noon. That means
no,
if it's a
I think it's a
They moved on. Huh?
They moved on from.
So this Lavani, actually, are you pronouncing it right? Lavani, because
yeah, you are.
Marathi has all those la is never la and na is because as a South Indian, when I was learning Hindi, I went to Hindi Prachar Sabha down south.
Right.
To learn the teacher literally ka ka ga ga nga. That things would come at the end of ka ka ga ga nga. The cha cha nya or that those last letters. I thought this is a fraud. Nobody uses any of this, and they're making the South Indians sing ya ta da. Then I came to Bombay. I heard Marathi. I said, okay, you put all these letters together, make a language.
Yeah. Exactly what it is. Bombay, your favorite city?
It was, actually. Though when I came to Bombay, because I was working for Magna Publishing Company, they brought me to Bombay. They put me in a chawl. They said office accommodation.
Yeah.
But then I go, what I see is there's a long corridor with doors one way, and I go to the room and search for the toilet. There's no toilet. So the toilet is supposed to be common and all that kind of. So this was pure pathos. Like, that was the moment I knew that that objective type entrance exam. These are the moments you escape, So I could have been one of those English writers who say Bombay is cosmopolitan and they talk about jazz in Bombay. And I never got into that trap. I knew what this place was, where first day one alcoholic in what is called at that point we used to call it Bomada shots. Do you still call them Bomada shots? And I started calling them Bevada shots. So they're all drunk in that shot. The mill workers who lost their jobs who are dying of TB. Before they die, they want money from me. Okay. So it was all not very pleasant, the first impact, but then it was also so real. Yeah. And anyway, they didn't pay me well, so there was the Shiv Sena's gym very close by. Yeah. Shiv Sena's was as a cultural power. People in Bombay don't realize it. Only when you come from out, you realize how they are everywhere. Yeah. And when I came, Barbie Girl was released, and for some mysterious reason I couldn't crack. Shiv Sainiks loved Barbie Girl. Yeah. Every month, they would start with, first they will start with devotional songs. Then they will start with Shivaji songs. Then there would be patriotic national, they go from state, they go national songs. And then, after midnight, I don't know what, it is a Barbie Girl. They'll play Barbie Girl and they have a blast. Yeah. So they used to have a gym. So I went to the gym, it was 25 rupees a month membership. I thought this is great. But they said, what's your name? I said, Manu Joseph. Joseph, kind of thing. So they pointed at a frame and said, do you know who this is? I said, yeah, this is Hanuman. So Hanuman ke liye 50 push-ups. so that was my rite of passage in Bombay, which I was happy to do. Yeah. Then they gave me one long red cloth and one long blue cloth. Yeah. So they didn't obviously say anything. They just gave it to me, and I went home. But I have to tell you, at this point, I have excellent problem-solving capabilities. Right. So I figured these are langots. So that's what you're supposed to wear when you use the gym. So I don't know why they didn't have saffron lango. Yeah. Which is another mystery which I've never been able to crack.
Yeah. But it's like good. Yeah. You went to a gym. It was like a roadie's audition in the 90s. Now do push-ups. Yeah. Now you wear this, now you do that. But that's why.
But then they become friends. Once you do these things, like college ragging.
Yeah, it's college ragging. Yeah. But here's the other thing I want to ask you, which is, what if you get caught with Barkha in an elevator? What would your first exchange with her be?
I think we have actually been in an elevator after that. I think, or we've been in situations where we do say hi and.
That's it.
She also seems to be pleasant now. It is, but I'm sure. She's not as pleasant as she lets out. Right. But I suppose it's not that complex for an elevator scene. Yeah. Yeah.
If I was Barkha, I'd press all the buttons and abuse you. Like, you just put questions on my career.
It's something she might actually do and then realize, oh, even I'm going down now. This is only going to make the trip longer. Yeah.
But you kind of expose that whole thing, which kind of still people remember. That's the first thing that comes up when you're Googled. How does that make you feel?
Oh, that's very unfortunate.
Very
It was a great story in the sense that for the first time, Indians could hear. The thing about the story, which is totally underrated, is that Indians are used to scam, and there were recordings of politicians too. But we knew that people are bored of being told that politicians are corrupt or they indulge in such conversations. What Indians had not heard was how Delhi's most powerful people who stand for various other values, how they speak, how a conversation is handled. In fact, the story by itself didn't establish much except for one or two commentators who were clearly involved. But for the others, it was more ambiguous, and sometimes journalism is a question.
Right.
You know, and then others go and screw themselves up, and then you fill the answers. You know, I think a lot of people could have easily handled this well. You know, but that's what journalism does. It pushes people. It makes them give out answers that they didn't want to reveal. Sorry, I think that ended up being a bit too serious.
But this book is a political thriller.
Yeah.
Oh. That's all.
So you do read something in a book.
Yeah, it's written here. This time Manu has written a political thriller. For some reason.
So what happens is, should I?
Please.
Yeah, should I? So a building has collapsed, and in the debris there is one man who's mumbling something.
Right.
And it turns out that what he is saying has got something to do with the real-time movements of a couple somewhere else. And the couple is most probably headed to explode something or carry out some other form of terrorism. So this man in the debris is somehow aware of the plan, and using what this man is saying, it appears that they have to stop the couple.
Oh.
So that is the
That's
story
what the
I
book is
usually give out.
That's all
Yeah,
you can
but-
tell people.
Yeah. If you have, I suppose that's
enough for them to buy the
That's
book.
enough, yeah.
Yeah, that's enough. Right. Do they blow some stuff up?
No.
Okay. Not really. I have other questions about this couple.
Okay.
Do they have a backstory in the book? Like, where did they meet? and-
Backstory, I love that. You could have me. Well, I'm now convinced that you actually read the book. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
I'm just kidding.
I would never.
Yeah, they have a backstory.
I'm waiting for the Mahesh Bhatt film. Like,
Mahesh Bhatt still makes movies?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he gives opinions.
That I knew.
That every
but-
TV channel Mahesh
Yeah,
Bhatt
but I
has.
didn't know that. He still gives opinions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once he was on some Aaj Tak debate debating the something about paneer. Broadly, it was something to do with
Paneer?
Yeah, the food
Okay.
item. Like something something was going on about paneer.
Wow.
It's not fattening or some shit like that was going on. Something was, I don't know, Mahesh, but I like him as a character. Like, he's a good character. He should make a film about him, giving opinions. Be really good satire. There's another thing. So your book kind of paints RSS apparently in a bad light.
Oh, absolutely not true.
Not true.
It's a work of fiction, and all characters are fictitious. and any resemblance to people who are alive should really make them introspect.
Yeah.
And I can tell you RSS and Narendra Modi would assert that this is a work of fiction.
This is a work of fiction.
Yeah.
Because they're
Not me. I don't have to do anything. They will tell you.
They will tell you
Yeah.
it's a work of fiction. Yeah.
One of the favorite characters I've ever written over the course of 3 books is a person from an organization called the Sangh, who is a patriarch, who's an old man, almost Chanakya kind of a figure, but a
Right.
kind of a guy who has contempt for. India is filled with people
Yeah.
who think they're Chanakyas.
Yeah.
And they've not read Chanakya, they've read the synopsis.
Yeah. Chanakya, yeah.
And they figure, oh, I'm this. So that it becomes a justification for all unethical things you can do, all the murderous things, that you're Chanakya. You're a practical person.
Right.
So, but it is also it also exists. The Chanakya also exists in
Right,
real life.
right.
The real Chanakyas who
Yeah.
are not happy people,
Huh.
and they show you that happiness is also not everything.
Right.
There is also other states of existing, which is very interesting or thrilling.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of a figure. Yeah,
Does
which
it-
I never thought I'll be able to pull off.
Yeah.
Someone who's on the brink, is almost.
Right. But does this Chanakya kind of person say Mitro and all?
No. That's not the Chanakya who does that.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I get it.
He doesn't have 56-inch
No,
chest.
chest, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or waist. Is it chest or waist?
Chest.
Just looking at him, I think he was talking about his waist and people misreported.
Yeah. It's journalist, NDTV.
Yeah.
Defaming the Prime Minister.
I think he just said that I have 56-inch waist. I'm like any of you Indians.
Yeah.
Mitro. And then the TV misreported.
Yeah.
And they just made it into his.
Yeah. I remember one of the TV channels had a graphic representation of like many chess.
Chess.
Yeah. Like there was
How do
great. So they started with Virat Kohli is at 40.
Really?
Salman is at 44. Modi ji is at 56. Great Khali is at 63. And there was a debate going on. Then they got a tailor in who was just guessing other people's chess. And it was a good, beautiful 21-minute. I mean, I think they were attempting for news, but it was a mock-you. Like it was good. It was very good.
That's
I watched
fascinating.
I watched the entire thing, and the reporter was reporting was so excited that iske liye main padhai kiya hai. Like ye ho raha hai. Like he was very on, and like it was good fun. So I really watch the news every night. Every night I just switch on Republic TV, and I'm like, my God, this is great. I don't need anything else in life. That's all.
Don't you think you have serious competition? Now, comedians have to compete with reality.
Yeah,
As
that's
one of
true.
So how do you manage to keep one step ahead of?
Just
Maybe you
report.
stick to reality.
Yeah, I stick to reality. I just report what's going on.
Yeah.
Like you just tell people. Supreme Court lawyer said, peacocks don't have sex. They cry. It's all true. Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like just go and say facts which make
Yeah.
people laugh.
They're married peacocks.
Yeah. Something like that. It's very difficult to compete with what's going on outside.
Yeah.
It's actually, you're right. It is so bizarre. Like some things here are very bizarre. Another thing. Oh fuck! This is like an intense question. Are you a feminist?
We have already covered that subject.
Yeah,
where
I know, but
feel
still I have to ask you.
I feel that, I feel it's a powerful intellectual movement
Yeah.
for those who have a very high stake in it.
Yeah.
But I feel that unless you have the experience of being a woman,
Yeah.
it's very shallow. I know a lot of Tamil Brahmins who are Dalit activists. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, this is very charlatan because yes,
Yeah.
you're confusing decency
Yeah.
with a political movement.
Yeah.
You're confusing the need to be good,
Yeah.
with labels.
Right.
So these are very facile labels, which I think stops people from actually working hard in understanding issues
The
and
issue.
problems.
Yeah.
So the answer is that I don't give myself any labels which are very low stake and very easy, and it doesn't make sense to me.
Right. But that's you.
But also some
Well,
of
I'm
the-
sure a lot of
yeah.
guys, they just like, oh, now I'm.
Yeah, like your
I'll think of
friends
things
who
differently.
are
Yeah, like
male feminists
male
and
feminists.
men with the moral compass in Delhi.
Yeah.
So we've already discussed those guys.
Yeah.
So I feel that then you just walk around with that label.
Right.
As there was a line in the film Birdman. A thing is a thing, not what is said about a thing, which I think is deeper than what Britney Spears said about life.
I slept through Birdman, by the way.
What are you saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I
we'll
went-
never get along. That
Dude,
I knew already.
this slept through Birdman. Birdman. So here's the thing: like 10:30 movies on a recliner is a bad idea. Recently, in an interview, you said that left liberals are as much of a nuisance as the right wing. The right wing is simpler; they'll come beat you up, but the left will kind of fuck your life up
Yeah.
with information and other things like that.
Yeah, no, nuisance, that there are nuisance is an old story. I mean, I wouldn't
You've
have
said
added it. Yeah, what I said was that in a particular context, the way when the right wing thugs,
Yeah.
they kind of ask when they pay someone to beat you up in
Ah.
physical, which I'm not
Supporting.
yeah, obviously, yeah. But the left liberal establishment, which is actually people don't realize run by very few people.
Yeah.
They have a hold over acclaim. That's how they control acclaim. They can screw you in worse ways. So for a lot of people who are within the larger liberal setup, for example, you are in the arts or journalism, they are trained to believe that taking on Modi or saying something against Modi is speaking truth to power, which to me is a low stakes. It's not completely without meaning, but it's low stakes compared to taking on some of the nonsense that exists in left liberal setup. Like for example, they're almost fraudulent activism. Okay, they're no facts based emotional outcries. You will be more you would probably be more you're more likely to be destroyed if you do that, because that is that's where you belong. That's your home.
But who do you challenge?
Taking on your friends is more
Yes.
difficult than taking on Modi.
You're right. That's more difficult. But question is, what is more important? Dissent towards power or dissent towards opposition?
Both of them. I'll tell you why they're important. One, there is no question that power, because it can do many things.
Yes.
Whoever is in power, there is, you need to question them, challenge them. That's one of the functions of both journalism and art. But here we are forgetting one step. Now, let's say, how does a Trump come to power, or how does the Sun come to power? Why don't we start asking, now, who are the people who are supposed to have stopped this? What are they doing? Are they any good? So you have a liberal setup which has had it too easy, because they'll say that, no, these are the things we do. We'll have our cultural festivals, we'll write boring opinion columns, we are activists, and we have done our job. And why are we so powerless? Why aren't we winning elections? Say, why are people doing exactly the opposite of what you say? Because the best among you within the establishment, they don't surface. It is controlled by some 10 people sitting in Delhi. For instance, some aspects of opinions are controlled by some 10 guys sitting in Delhi.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to question and challenge them,
Yeah.
you're going to only make it easy for whoever else to win elections and then come to power, because it's too easy for them.
Right. You have to
So you have to challenge, like, if there are two sides.
you have to better the game of the opposition with your work.
Exactly.
is what you're saying?
You have to challenge. That's why it's important to challenge both sides,
sides.
and nobody has it easy.
Yeah.
So in fact, one of the themes that I've tried to deal with, is that you take the idea of evil, why evil exists and why it thrives, is that it is an equal opportunity society where in the battle of assholes, it's always the stronger asshole will win. So he's a naturally selected giant. Who are you pitting against? Some sweet, lovely humanities professors, I kind of like them.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, they don't have a chance,
They don't have a chance.
right? That's why I like Arvind Kejriwal, where, of course, I think he's the most defamed man in India, because my friends from the Sun have created a notion that he's an anarchist.
Yeah.
When Indians talk about Arvind Kejriwal as an anarchist, you think we are all used to some Scandinavian standards of governance. Because that's how it's a herd mentality. One guy starts anarchist. Arun Jaitley is calling someone anarchist, and then everybody is saying
And
anarchist.
Arun Jaitley has filed a defamation case against Kejriwal.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
Parallelly. This is very
So
funny.
what I like about Kejriwal is that he is closer to what I would call a naturally selected giant on the other side,
Yeah.
where he went through activism.
Huh.
He was cunning.
Huh.
See, if you're good and if you're fighting the cunning, you also need to be cunning.
Right.
Okay, if you need to be smart also, it's not enough to say, I'm her, I'm
Yeah.
this, I'm noble, I have these set of labels.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So that is my chief argument
Right.
that, but you don't realize how organized and deadly evil can be because of its nature. It's naturally designed to be very powerful. And we all, because we're saved by human nature, we resist it. It faces a lot of resistance from human beings. But whoever is representing us need to be good too. But I feel that the liberal setup has it too easy because of nepotism, okay,
Huh.
and because of a small cabal running
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
and like there's a lot of provincial players. Like even if, for example, even as simple as if your English accent is not very good, let's say,
Right.
or you write in or local Indian languages, it's very difficult for you to come up,
Yeah.
because there is a certain chain of command, and
Yeah.
it's very casteist in its own way, and they would like you to believe that there are these other four castes, and then
Yeah.
they distract you into believing that that's the caste battle. No, that is not true. In fact, your real caste is always your childhood. Once you've been brought up in a particular way, and that is what you hold on to, and that is what will either put you down,
Or take
or
you
that
up.
is where you feel that sense of entitlement comes from.
Yeah.
So those are the things we need to fight. Again, I see everybody saying that journalism is dying. Now, who were these people running journalism? Why are they not held accountable? But everybody is used to lament.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, journalism is we tried our best. What did we do? We did 10 pages on some rural affairs stories and nobody is reading us. Boss, make rural affairs interesting. Get writers to write, not activists to write. You pay 5,000 rupees, you'll get only activists to write.
Yeah.
And when activists write, 5 other activists will read it.
Yeah.
That's it.
What are your views on Arnab Goswami now that we discussed this whole left liberal lobby, which is kind of fucking the country up, which is what you think, but there's this guy also.
Yeah. The thing is, I used to know him
Right.
before I think his close family only knew about him.
Right.
Actually not that late. Also, I had just joined the Economic Times.
Yeah.
And Times Now was just seeded, and he was
Yeah.
still on the same floor, and we would
Yeah.
meet in a cubicle, and he seemed to be generally a nice person to have
yes.
a chat with. But I don't know
What struck him now?
maybe if I feel that he has realized that one part of journalism is acting. And let's not underestimate the thing, because they do act as an act. They're all actors.
Yeah.
And people who are not from, middle-aged men who are not from Bombay,
Yeah.
they're kind of enamored by acting, especially
Really?
in a particular, in journalism. Like one thing which always used to confuse me is when I used to be a reporter in Bombay, when people come from Delhi to interview Amitabh Bachchan, the entire editorial top rung will come to meet him, 4 senior editors, because obviously for them it's a big
It's a
deal.
big deal.
So I think,
that's what
the
kind
one
of
way of
drew-
understanding Arnab is that maybe, apart from the fact that he's started believing
Right.
some things about himself, maybe he's also getting into a form of journalism which is acting.
Which is acting.
Because I want to believe that fundamentally there's something nice about
Because
him.
I don't want to, because you're right about the acting part, because I can't believe that every day I wake up and I'm pissed off at Pakistan.
Yeah.
Once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, 1 week.
Yeah.
But like 3 months,
Yeah.
it's too much. Every day I don't wake up and I'm like pissed off at Rahul Gandhi,
Yeah.
who's inconsequential to the country currently or before.
Yeah.
Like, so things like that, I just feel like this is kind of, because if there were 10 people watching the news, which was divided between various channels, as soon as his channel came, now there are 13 people watching the news. Now, where did those 3 come from? My question is that, like, they were watching some Colors TV show, they were watching Big Boss, they
You're
were
right.
masturbating at home. Like whatever the fuck they were up to, now they think this is what I need to watch.
No, you're absolutely right.
Which
He
is
has
kind
brought
of
in new people to
watching
news,
propaganda.
News, or
Yeah.
what is called news,
Yeah, what is called
television
news.
or propaganda, as you call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
So he is harmful to society. I want you to accept it, actually.
Probably, you know.
It's great that you
there is
accepted
a-
my
yeah.
opinion. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming out. This brings us to the end of the night. The book is on Amazon. Let's
Yeah,
hope.
I hope so.
It's on Amazon. Please buy it. And if you guys gonna get your copy signed, Manu's right here. Okay, guys.